All across the country,
Students like me
like me,
are walking together to bring suicide
and mental health
out of the darkness.
When you're dealing with suicide and depression, it can feel like you're the only person who's going through it.
The Out of the Darkness Campus Walk shows you that you're not alone.
Everybody has these struggles, and it's okay to talk to people. Talking really helps a lot.
This is not a shameful thing. This is something that we can come together and overcome.
The Out of the Darkness Walk is a hopeful place. It makes you realize that you're not alone and that your feelings are completely valid.
The experience was so positive, and I have a support network here that I couldn't have gotten anywhere else.
There's a lot of other people out there who are struggling or who have known somebody who struggled, and they're here. They've made it out of the darkness, and they're here to help you find your way too.
Walk with us.
Walk with us.
You belong here.
We're all in this fight together.
Hi, Christine Moutier, Chief Medical Officer at AFSP. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for participating in our campus walks. This is how we raise awareness and funds. It's how we come together to shed stigma, to live more authentically and connect with one another. It is so important. Know that you are not alone, and by taking this step, you're helping others to feel supported and connected and not alone. The funds that you raise are used for our signature project 2025, aiming to reduce the national rate of suicide 20% by 2025. And that is what puts on our advocacy efforts and our prevention and loss and healing programs. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful walk, and I wish you well.
Hi, my name is Corbin Stanley, and I'm the chairman of the board of directors for the Michigan chapter of the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, and I want to talk just briefly about where your generous donations go. At AFSP, our mission is to save lives and bring hope to those affected by suicide, and we do this through our research, education, advocacy, and support work. We also know that it's critical to invest at multiple levels in order to create a long-term impact. So we do this by supporting programs and resources in your local communities, advocating for critical suicide prevention and mental health legislation at the state and federal levels, and by investing in life-saving, innovative research at the national level. We know that we need to invest at all of these levels in order to save lives and bring hope to those affected by suicide. By supporting AFSP, you are supporting a grassroots meets science organization, providing evidence-based resources and programs in your communities, in your state, and across the country. Thank you for your support.
Hi everyone, and welcome to the University of Michigan Virtual Out of the Darkness Walk. My name is Jody Hoffman, and I am the walk chair for the 2020-2021 season. I want to start by thanking everyone who has taken part in any of our events this year, whether that was raising money through our food fundraisers or through individual donations, attending our virtual programming events, or just supporting our cause of raising awareness for suicide prevention. Your hard work and contributions do not go unnoticed. I've had the pleasure of being involved with the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention for the past 3 years. I came to the University of Michigan in 2017 as a freshman, grieving the loss of a close friend who died by suicide less than a year before. Knowing very few people at this school, I was looking for a way to help make this university feel smaller. I quickly found the organization AFSP-UM, which seemed like the perfect fit. My involvement in this organization started as a committee member, learning the ropes of a new student org while trying to work through my own emotions of having lost a close friend. What originally started as a way to meet people has ultimately become one of my greatest passions in life. Through AFSP-UM's efforts, I've been able to raise awareness for mental health and suicide prevention. I've worked with inspiring people who are comfortable having the difficult yet necessary conversations about topics that are typically stigmatized. I've made friends through this organization that are hardworking, dedicated, and all-around wonderful people. I will be forever thankful that I was brave enough to join this organization as a shy freshman, because I am now walking away as the confident senior this organization has helped me become. While this year was anything but typical, the work AFSP-UM is doing is more important than ever. A year of social distancing to protect our physical health has taken a toll on many people's mental health. AFSP-UM has worked hard all year to remind people that they are never truly alone. There are always people and resources available to help you through any crisis you may be facing. As you all participate today in our virtual Out of the Darkness walk, whether that is alone or with a group, I want to remind you that you have hundreds of people walking alongside you, even if you can't physically see them. Thank you again for supporting the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. As I said before, your involvement does not go unnoticed. Thank you for bringing hope and support to those who have been affected by suicide. Keep up this amazing and important work. And now go out and walk.
Each of us has our own stories and our own reasons for being here. As we come together today, we remember those reasons and we share a symbol to keep them in our sight and in our hearts. Our honor beads pay tribute to a loved one lost, a personal struggle, or a victory. They come in many colors, representing the diversity of our community's connections to this cause. Purple beads symbolize the loss of a friend or relative. Orange beads represent the loss of a sibling. Silver beads symbolize the loss of military or first responders. Gold beads represent the loss of a parent. White beads symbolize the loss of a child. Red beads represent the loss of a partner or a spouse. Green beads symbolize a personal struggle. Blue beads represent one's support of the cause. And finally, teal beads symbolize the family and friends of those with mental health conditions. These beads, all of these courageous people, they represent our dedication, our commitment, and our strength as a community. We are united in our goal and determined to bring suicide prevention out of the darkness and save lives.
Hello everyone, my name is Nick Bradar. I use he, him pronouns. I'm a junior studying neuroscience and psychology here at the University of Michigan, and I'm currently the programming chair at UofM's chapter of the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. If I'm being honest, it took me a while to gather the words I wanted to share today. Despite having shared my story a number of times, this time just feels different. A little over a year ago, we were preparing to host our Out of the Darkness walk when we discovered that COVID-19 would be moving all of our classes and events to a virtual format for a few weeks, which turned into the rest of the semester and following semesters. Looking back at that, I cannot believe how much has changed in just a year. One thing that has stayed the same, however, is my passion for preventing suicide. And one of my favorite ways to demonstrate that passion is to share my own mental health journey. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. Growing up, and pretty much all the way until my junior year of high school, I was consistently known as the happiest kid around. I had and still have a huge smile and passion for life. So when that smile and passion for life started to fade the summer before my junior year of high school, I didn't know what to do. And at first, I kept up the facade of happiness, even if that wasn't my internal reality. But at a certain point, I no longer had the strength to keep wearing that mask. So one night, I broke down to my mom, and we started to try to figure out a plan to get me back to being that happy Nick that everyone knew. Unfortunately, it wasn't just smooth sailing from that point on. Throughout my journey, highs and lows became a recurrent theme. I reached out to my school counselor, found a therapist and psychiatrist, and started treating my mental health the same way I treated my physical health. Over time, I gathered a couple mental health diagnoses, from major depressive disorder to complex PTSD. And although those diagnoses initially seemed to define me, I was also starting to feel that my identity had entirely changed, from being that happy kid to now being this depressed kid, whether or not anyone actually was believing that. I had lost a lot of hope throughout this whole process of being diagnosed and starting treatment, and that is when I started experiencing suicidal thoughts for the first time. In honor of our Out of the Darkness walk today, I want to spend a little more time unpacking that suicidality. Usually it's just another couple of bullet points when I share my story, but today I want to share my experiences a little bit more in depth. Let me start by saying it's terrifying. When we give our educational presentations at different organizations at UofM, we share that suicide research has showed us that many suicidal people are ambivalent about taking their life. There's a part of them that wants to live and a part of them that wants to die. And that was absolutely my experience. That sense of happiness was still deep inside of me, and I still felt a strong passion for life. And like I said, I also had the experience of the part of me that wanted to die. My mood was reaching an all-time low. Getting out of bed felt impossible. My anxiety produced severe stomach cramps every day as I drove to school. I felt like my friends only cared for me because they felt like they had to. And frankly, I was sick of having to work so hard just to stay alive. So after months of fighting that depression and suicidal ideation, I eventually reached a breaking point. I physically could not put in the effort I needed to fight my depression anymore, and I gave up. This is when I attempted to kill myself. And that's when my story should have ended, but thankfully it didn't. I was lucky enough to become a suicide attempt survivor, and lucky enough to be able to share my story today and to continue to write in that story every day. My suicide attempt became a turning point in my mental health journey. I took a leap and spent the next 40 days in a residential treatment program where I received intensive treatment through a number of different therapy modalities. And I left that treatment center filled with hope, a feeling I hadn't felt in a long time. And not a hope that I was better or fixed, but rather a hope that should I ever experience those profound lows again, I'd be able to survive them and even learn to thrive through them. I've come a long way from the high school student constantly feeling worthless, not being able to focus in class, and wanting to end my life. I stand here today as a student at one of the best public universities in the country, recently learning that next year I'm going to serve as the executive director of Wolverine Support Network and the next walk chair for AFSP UM. I share these experiences because I know the person I was my junior year of high school could not have imagined making it this far, and I know that there are other people out there wondering if they'll make it through the next year, let alone the next 4 or 10 years. I share this story because I'm a living example that there will always be hope. I share my story because I know firsthand the importance of the work we're doing today and every day. I know the importance of having a real conversation with someone and taking a moment to genuinely check in on them, beyond just the how are you. I know the importance of educating people on what to do if they find a loved one experiencing a suicidal crisis. And I know the importance of coming together for a walk like this, even if virtual, to show our community that you care about stopping suicide. So yes, in our current exhausting and tedious virtual world, I know that a virtual event like this can feel a lot less meaningful. So today I shared my story to prove to you that you are all still saving lives, whether you know it or not. So thank you for listening to my story today, but more importantly, thank you for helping me and so many others be able to continue writing our stories. As I said at the beginning, this year has been more different and unanticipated than words can even begin to explain, but one thing has remained the same, and that one thing will always be the same. Suicide is preventable, and we can all play a part in preventing it and saving lives.
Hi everyone, I'm Vicki, and I am the Michigan Chapter Board Secretary, and I live with anxiety and depression, and I've been hospitalized for being suicidal.
My name is Sarah. I'm a board member, the social media ambassador, and I live with depression, anxiety, and post-traumatic stress disorder.
I'm Caroline. I'm the volunteer coordinator and a board member. I battle depression and anxiety.
We want to thank everyone who's joined us today. To those who've lost someone, we stand with you.
Those of you who support the cause of suicide prevention, we stand with you.
And those who fight mental illness, we stand with you. Thank you for your bravery and strength to join us. We acknowledge you, and we're here to support you and show you hope and healing.
While everyone's journey with mental illness is different, it's important to know that you're not alone. We want you to know that there is help and there is hope.
While it can be scary to talk about your mental health, it is a sign of strength, not a sign of weakness.
We want to create a culture in society that is smart about mental health, where it is not stigmatized and it is viewed just the same as physical health.
It should be just as normal to talk to a doctor about your emotions as it is heart disease or diabetes.
We hope that by sharing our stories, by talking about mental health, by showing people that there's nothing to be ashamed of, we can bring hope to those who fight mental illness and to those who support someone who struggles.
We hope that this encourages people to have real, honest conversations about their mental health.
If you're struggling right now, please reach out to someone you trust. It can be a friend, family member, or even a doctor.
If you're having suicidal thoughts, please call the Crisis Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-8255 or text 741-741.
And both of these are available 24/7. If you're worried about someone in your life, please reach out to them. Showing them that you care and love them and are willing to help them seek the support that they need can be a life-saving step.
Our mental health is so important, now more than ever, as we face challenges that we've never faced before.
But although it's hard to be together physically, there are still so many ways to stay connected.
Once again, thank you for joining us today, and please remember, you are not alone.
You are loved. You matter. There is hope.
We are stronger together.
Hi everyone, my name is Jackie Bercacci and I am the Events Committee Chair for the University of Michigan's AFSP student organization. I have been involved with this organization since my freshman year, and as a senior, it has been such an honor to not only be a part of such an amazing community, but of the strong leadership team that has worked diligently to put on today's event, persisting through all of the COVID-related challenges we faced. Each year, this event aims to raise awareness around mental health and suicide and also bring hope to those affected. Although our walk has moved virtually this year, I want to thank you all for joining us today and continuing to fight against the stigma that surrounds mental health and suicide. I also want to give a final thank you to our sponsors, Beyond Juicery, C Eyewear, and Grennan Construction, and also to all of our fundraisers with some special shout outs to some of our top fundraisers, Kiki Goldstein, Julie Rossini, and Mark Gulbranson. Lastly, if you haven't checked out our awesome raffle prizes yet, you can head over to the AFSP Walk page. Under the list of teams, you can see all of the raffles. There are 2 left still to enter today. One is the photo shoot and MDen raffle, which includes a 1-hour photo shoot session with Sammy Stoloff Photography, which will expire by May 2022, and a $25 MDen gift card. And the other raffle is an Ann Arbor food bundle, which includes a $20 gift card to Joe's Pizza, a $20 gift card to Pizza House, and a $25 gift card to Jerusalem Garden. And we will be announcing the winners tonight on our social media accounts. Thank you all again for your dedication and support, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
I'm Ann Perry, Area Director for AFSP Michigan. And on behalf of our chapter, I would like to thank you all for joining us for the 2021 virtual campus walk for the University of Michigan. I'd also like to give a special thank you to the entire team at the University of Michigan, our wonderful student organization, and all that they did this year for the walk and for AFSP. Thank you so much to Jody Hoffman and her entire crew for making suicide prevention and suicide loss support a priority at the University of Michigan. We now invite you to go out into your communities, around your town, maybe a special park, somewhere that's special to you, and enjoy this day. Maybe remember or honor a loved one, maybe recognize your own struggle or support someone that you know who may be struggling. Whatever you do, know that you are not alone. While we would prefer to be together in person, we are very much still together in spirit, and you are part of a large community at AFSP. While you're out today, remember to take photos of your walk and share them using the hashtags you see here. Hashtag Hope Walks Here, AFSP Michigan, and many more. You can also chalk your walk if you'd like, bring your dog along with you or your cat. We'd love to see all those pictures as well. Again, on behalf of AFSP Michigan, thank you so much for all of your support. You are not alone.